Hey guys, welcome back to Vanishing Gates. As always, I'm your host Jay, and with me as always, my co-host
Jack.
And tonight we have a special guest, my friend Seth.
How's everybody doing?
Now, we're going to talk about a bunch
of...
of...
special, or do we need to talk about your lifestyle choices?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Well, let's get into cigar of the week before we get too incoherent. Seth and I are smoking these Portagas again because I'm on a Portaga run. Jack here is smoking something quite different, though. Go ahead and tell us about it, Jack.
La Gloria Cubana. I believe it's a Series R Esteli. It's really good. It's smooth.
Is it Esteli or Estelle?
Estelle? I don't know how to spell Estelle, so... There's an accent over the I, I guess.
An accentuation mark?
An accentuation of
I'm not
facts.
sure. Guys, don't quote us on our punctuation.
It's a decent cigar. You got it? Mm-hmm. That's all you need to fucking know.
So are these Portagas. And we're currently drinking Ninkasi Dawn of the Red IPA, which is a pretty damn good beer for what it is.
I'm currently drinking an A&W root beer, which is also and water, so that's also delicious. Because
he is alcohol-free for some fucking reason.
Mental disorders, I believe, right?
All right, so that said, hey Seth, let's talk about some experiences or some stories you've heard. Let's get what you feel about certain topics. You guys can tell we're back on the shit show path.
Well, I listened to your guys' first episode. I haven't had a chance to be able to listen to your second one. You guys just posted it out last night. And throughout that one, your first episode that you guys had done, you guys were talking about Bigfoot. And, I haven't had personal experiences of seeing Bigfoot or anything like that, while out hunting or hiking or anything like that. But
so what you're saying is no aliens have taken you up to a ship and made you have love.
Or
make love with Bigfoot.
Now I can't really say that.
This is not what's happened yet.
I can't remember. I may have been.
That's a normal
kidnapped by aliens, but I really don't know.
He did wake up one morning in the woods and have some strange brown hairs in his teeth. He doesn't know if he is a skinwalker and attacked a deer, or if he did some cunnilingus on a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot has actually been an interest within my father's life and also my life, and we've always been fascinated with the aspect of Bigfoot,
That's because you go hunting, right? So
exactly. It's something to talk about while you're out with the guys. You're out hunting for deer, and it's like a Bigfoot conversation is always something to be able to have fun with when you're just out bullshitting around,
waiting to go to sleep, just thinking to yourself, "There's a 7 foot or 8 foot ape out here that could potentially
8 to 10 foot bipedal hominid."
Exactly.
There was a 5 foot ape that tore someone's face off. Here, I want this giant one potentially wandering around outside.
Apparently, I heard they run on all fours now.
That would be amazing.
That's the new theory.
That's the new theory.
Yeah, they run on all fours. I don't know if it's a new theory. It's one I've heard that's new to me.
I don't know about that. Running on all fours. I mean, that starts to put them in an animalistic feature, aspect. And I like to think of them as, as one of us, just very ginormous and hairy, So,
as I look at Jack.
And so, but throughout the research that I've done, and the videos that I've watched, there was this one specific one that really caught my eye, and it was this. I can't remember exactly the gentleman who actually went out and did the videos. He's not really that big time guy to where you see a lot of his videos. It's just like one of those little push to the side videos. But he actually went out and and you had mentioned in the show earlier that we actually live up here in the Redwoods. We're in Northern California. And they really do live up in this area. And
so you're a Bigfoot believer?
I am. I really think that there's a Bigfoot out there. I would like to think so. I like to think that there's something out there that
comes out here every once in a while with the I believe with the the monster truck show.
Yeah,
he does come out here every once in a while.
I think that truck is long.
You're most definitely not going to see him walking around Winco, but he's most definitely here.
Not that we mentioned names of anything.
So, what do you think? Are Bigfoot a sentient being? Are they a ghost? Are they an alien? Are they just something from here? Are they like a crossbreed between humans and gorillas?
Are they wandering a veil that we can't see?
Yeah,
I would think that it's like some sort of. Think of it as like a caveman aspect. You know what I mean?
Like Neanderthal.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have we still have dinosaurs living to this day. You know, dinosaurs aren't extinct. You know, alligators are considered a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're still around. And so to think that Neanderthals or cavemen or whatever you want to call them could still be here, whether they had actually collided with society as society had changed or not, I mean, it's a high possibility that these things or people can actually exist.
Well, that would, and if they're more humanoid, that would explain why they're so hard to find, because they still have some of that instinct of not being found.
Absolutely.
And if they were with us when we were evolving, they could have seen what we were like, how things were going, and then they just decided to stay away.
Absolutely.
I fucking would.
Nah,
I would. Absolutely.
I'm human. I like to avoid people.
maybe this is what happened to the Swiss Family Robinson when you realized they were all by themselves for so long.
The Who Family what?
Swiss Family Robinson, isn't that it?
Is that a thing?
I think that's a show.
It used to be a show, like back in the day, man.
Is this something I should know about?
Probably no. It's not that important.
No.
Okay.
Most definitely not in that.
Lots of
Both of
inbreeding.
But most
guys
definitely
do that.
off topic though.
Lots of inbreeding created Bigfoot.
So to bring us back though, to talk about this video that I actually seen, like this guy was wandering through the woods, and not only did he catch a glimpse of a Bigfoot, which when you actually look at it, you pause it, you go into detail, it doesn't look like it was altered in any way. It doesn't look like it was a costume of any sorts. I mean, it looks pretty legit. Now, I know that, watching like certain shows that are on TV nowadays, we can do makeup pretty freaking well to be able to make something look realistic,
Yeah.
I mean, but this guy or this thing that he videotaped, I mean, it was almost looking at somebody with a facial beard. I mean, all the way over his freaking head, like everywhere. And not only was that shown, but then also, I don't know if you guys heard, but like they certain theories are that Bigfoot, they like to rip the tree out of the ground and stick it upside down to mark territory.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something I've never heard of.
You never heard of that?
No.
And so what they actually do is like within like their surrounding area to where they call home, they set a perimeter around their area to designate, like, hey, don't freaking enter here. Like this is my area. And what they do is they actually take the tree, they flip it around, they stick it inside the ground so where the roots are actually sticking out.
That's an interesting thought, because most animals mark their territory with scent and stuff, but if they're more like us, we mark our territories with fences and shit.
Right, exactly.
So maybe that you might be onto something there, man.
And so,
What do you think about these Bigfoot calls, though? Have you ever tried one out there?
No, I never.
Samurai.
I've never actually heard of a
Completely bogus.
Bigfoot call. I mean, what would you think a Bigfoot actually sounded like, Jack?
Here, I'll try.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure. Apparently, it sounds like a fat dude out in the middle of the wilderness shouting.
All right, guys, we're gonna Google this bitch. You guys keep talking. Bigfoot calls.
Bigfoot calls.
Dial Bigfoot. No, I'm not. Clearly not what I was trying to do.
Let me say this. I mean, my favorite part is Bigfoot experts. Because where did you get your diploma in that shit? Like, where
shit.
Where the fuck?
Well, here's the deal, guys.
Does Bigfoot show up and give diplomas to
Okay,
people?
well, it's like parapsychology. Those guys weren't taken very seriously in universities for quite a while. They were the pioneers of it. All of it is you have to be a pioneer in it for it to become an actual science.
That's true.
That's how you become a professional and an expert. Is you are the one that spends most time learning about it and documenting. And so these guys, think about it. They spent 20, 30, 40 years studying Bigfoot of their life. And really immersing themselves. So yeah, they could be experts on it.
They really could be, but at the same
if it's an
time, see that's the thing I was just going to bring up right there is that they may be spending like their entire life devoting themselves to be able to prove the Bigfoot theory, but even after 30, 40 years, I mean, it still hasn't been completely proven.
Well, that's the thing too, though.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't negate their ability to be experts. I mean, that's. You study something your whole life and you accumulate information. Whether you're trying to prove it right or not, you can still be an expert. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing: being an expert, in my opinion, requires a point and a counterpoint. You have to have a standpoint of
there's
what's
lots of
true.
counterpoints.
you have to have a standpoint of what's true. Like you have to have a place where you can go back to that leads you back out again.
Right.
So you have to have something that is solid proof, something that is evident, because you can't just go from no evidence and just go out there fanning out saying I'm an expert on things, and it's like I've got this footprint, I've got this footprint, I've got this footprint. Which footprint's real? You have no standpoint of knowing which footprint is real at the time you're doing that. You gotta have some sort of a basis at a beginning to come to a conclusion of some sort.
Well,
And Jack, you're not connected to the speaker, are you? On your laptop?
No, I do not. I do not.
Okay,
do
good.
that.
Because I'm going to try this.
at the same time, I totally get what you're saying there, but at the same time, like if yours, I mean, to say that you're starting off something completely fresh and new, you know, if you have one set of footprints and the other set of footprints, I mean, you don't know which footprints are which at that, right there at that moment, you know, you have to devote yourself to be able to figure it out, you know, from there on to be able to tour between the two.
You know, I totally agree, but the question is like, how do they know which one is real if they're different? Because I believe that I don't think any two footprints are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, you know, in the
Well,
terms
some
of
of them
Bigfoot.
have like fucking like 3 toes, some of them have like 1 toe, and there's a theory that because of inbreeding,
Right.
some of them I actually heard that because of inbreeding, the 3-toed ones are the most aggressive ones. Because there are stories of Bigfoot attacks that go about. I haven't heard any of those, but I know that there are stories of it. And
The
you're
one-
still connected to the Bluetooth. Turn your Bluetooth on.
The one that doesn't give me, the one I don't give credence to are generally the ones that say like, oh, Bigfoot, it was moving so fast I couldn't see it.
Right.
It's a giant lumbering. It's still an ape. It's not going to be able to move like lightning.
Well, hey,
No.
that's not true. Dude, gorillas move fucking hella fast.
Well, they do, but not like to where the point to where you're going to be like. It's good, like their speed is going to be like if you see it at the corner of the eye, it's going to seem more faster than you would like with the full actual vision. You know, if you just see it through your peripherals, you know, it's going to be, you know, it'll seem like it's faster than regular, but something that size. I mean, we have athletes that prove to us that, you know, that they can't perform, you know, as big as they are to the standard of somebody else who's smaller. You know, I mean, that's why we have different positions for different people. You know, like a linebacker won't be able to do the same play as a wide receiver, you know, because he's not as fast or as limber or anything like that because he's a bigger guy. And so, you know,
So we're
think
talking
that somebody is 8 to 10 feet tall, weighing in at 300 pounds. You know what I mean? It's not gonna move at what the human speed is, which what you guys actually came to the conclusion was like what 20 something miles per hour.
28.
28.
You're not going to come across Ed Too Tall Jones at 7 foot tall running at 30 miles an hour,
Okay.
basically like a lightning streak
Let
through
me
the woods.
clarify
Like,
something.
he'll
to
be
you
able to
guys
cover
about
more
speed.
distance because of the
He'll be able
length of his
cover,
legs.
but he still has to
But
have the
it's not gonna-
terrain,
it's not gonna
the
have it.
trees.
Okay,
Right.
but we're talking about a person's natural environment. If I'm on a track and field, I can run hella fast.
Oh, absolutely.
I can break that regular mile per hour speed thing just because of how I'm built.
Of
Now,
course.
a sea lion comes on land, it will outrun you. It can overtake you. It's a fucking sea lion. They run faster than us on land. Gorillas can move faster than us because you got to think if the Sasquatch do move, because there are arguments that they move on all fours sometimes, then they would move faster and they're pushing farther because their
I'm
bodies
not
are
arguing
longer.
because it's just like bears. You can't
A
outrun
bear will outrun you.
A bear will outrun.
But
him.
a bear
what
is
I'm saying
big.
is yes, this thing can move really fast, but the stories that I'm discounting are the ones that are like, all of a sudden, it was right in front of me after I'd been running full bore through a straight path, and then it was in the woods, and all of a sudden it was like right there, like 20 feet ahead of me. And
Okay,
I'm like,
but
no.
you have to keep in mind though,
And they couldn't hear it running. Like you're still gonna, even if you hear a bear, you're gonna hear a bear. You're gonna hear a gorilla.
Listen, if it's
you're gonna hear
related
these things.
if it is related in some kind of way to humans and apes, then it is a potential predator, and it's a woodland predator, and they're really good at stealth.
They are.
So you could
But not if you're at a
mountain
full
lions.
sprint. If
Listen,
you're at a full sprint, it has to go to a full sprint to catch you too. It'll have to get at least close to that.
not if it's swinging on trees and
So-
jumping and shit.
You're still going to hear branches. You're going to hear cracking. You're
Not
going to hear some way. You're going to hear it
dude.
moving.
Not necessarily. Have you ever watched the
So you're a
monkeys at
believer
the
in
zoo
the
and stuff?
the cloaking ability of the
No,
like
I'm
it's got
saying-
a belt that cloaks it.
No, listen. I'm saying
Hold
flat
on. To
out.
be able to put it in perspective here, if you were to imagine Jack running through and swinging on branches, how much noise would you really hear if he was to be able to do it?
Okay, it depends on
That's
if it's his natural environment. I can walk around and sneak up on people. With leaves on the ground, I can move through the woods without making noise. I've learned to do that over time, being in the woods a lot. You learn it as a hunter. You know this.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's
these
true.
things are in the woods all the fucking time. Of course they can, move silently through the trees. Like I was going to say, if you go to the zoo and you watch the monkeys swing on the thing, you don't hear anything while they're swinging unless they're hitting chains and stuff.
Right.
They know how to move. They know what branches to look for. They know how to quiet
First
their
off,
movement.
Okay, so let's say they're in a perfect situation. This thing has to be at least 400 to 500 pounds.
Did you seriously just fucking quote Weezer?
I don't.
It's a song.
I've never
It's a
listened to
Weezer song. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? All right, so here's the deal.
The point is-
I found the Sasquatch.
Hold on. But the point is that
better
even if
say
this
something.
fucking thing is okay, so it's like 400 pounds. It's moving through the trees, I don't care how strong a branch is. You're not going to find every branch that can hold 500 fucking pounds without making a
No, but
sound.
who says they have to just swing on large branches? They can find the trunks and move from the trunks, then to the ground. Dude, and
You're going to rip bark away. You're
okay,
going to make
do
sound.
you know why you make so much sound in the woods? Most people make a lot of sound walking
Because
in the
I've
woods
got as much stealth as an ox.
Listen, because they wear shoes that are unnatural to the terrain, and they snap twigs. That's how you make sound in the woods. You hit surfaces without padded feet. These things aren't wearing shoes. And if they are, fucking, maybe they have Jordans. I don't know, maybe Jordans big enough.
Speaking of the feet again, you know, I was just kind of thinking, you know, I mean, you know, we use our toes for stability and to be able to stand straight, to be able to walk properly, you know, and without toes, I mean, I don't see how we would be able to still be able to do that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know, and if they have only
one,
if they only have 1 to 3 toes, I mean, are
well,
they
some of them
still
have
able to
full.
do that?
Well, if it's 3 toes, it's fine, but it's based on your balance. Again, this is their genetic defects, and they're the more aggressive ones. It seems like the ones that people encounter in that direction, where it's an aggressive attack, would be these lesser toed because they've been inbred over time, which would explain the breeding population problem.
Absolutely.
And so they're more aggressive. Those are the ones that aren't as good at hiding, but there's also a thought that they live in caves now. They live underground tunnels. Like, and they're finding tunnels. Like, there's that show, Killing Bigfoot. These guys have spent a ton of time. And these are not like a bunch of bow-dangle, redneck, no-tooth hillbillies going, oh, I saw Sasquatch.
You mean it's like these shows
These
where
are guys, there's a Vietnam
Bigfoot
vet.
shows up and starts attacking them, or creatures start attacking them, and yet the cameraman's perfectly okay?
Yeah, no, these are guys that have spent a long time studying this stuff. And they have really dedicated their time. And these are not stupid people. These are scientists. These are intelligent people. These are woodsmen. These are hunters. These are war veterans. These are guys that are used to looking for shit that most other people wouldn't just see. And this is a pretty legitimate argument that when they say, oh, we're finding these game trails that are hollowed out, and that's why they came across the conclusion that they move on all fours sometimes. But I can move on all fours.
You know, I don't
I'm not
get why.
built that way.
I really don't get why video gamers don't go in the
absolutely.
woods. There's a lot of game trails out there.
Here we are on the trail to elusive Final Fantasy.
Get those those neck bearded
played Oregon
bastards
Trail
with
back in the day.
their treblies out there by telling them there's game trails.
Oh, I bought the woman the Oregon Trail card game for Christmas.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's
Indeed.
fucking hilarious.
Dude, that's awesome.
It is funny.
I like it. It says in the back, you have dysentery.
All right. I got that card and died immediately. That's how that game works. You can die immediately in that game. There's
You
a
gotta
card
love
game.
dysentery.
You got measles.
Yeah, you get the moose. Droopy face.
You fucking died.
All right, so let's play some of these Bigfoot sounds if I can get, because I couldn't get the Bluetooth to work for some reason, so the speaker's not up, so I'm just going to put my phone close.
This is gonna be a fucking ad. Watch.
is gonna be-
This will be an ad right
If
off
there's
the
an
bat.
ad, I'm going to pause it right away. Nope. I'm not sure how else I'm going to pick it up. So
That sounds like a fucking wind.
That's not going to sound good. This is going to take a while, I can tell.
This is like the worst Bigfoot sound I've ever heard.
There.
Oh my god, that is so fake.
I'm not really sure the mic is honestly.
I don't know what the mic is hitting it either, but it's probably just in a fucking zoo somewhere.
Those are the Sierra Mountains. Okay, that was the guy. I think that was the guy. Alright, so.
I think we've
Anyway,
suffocated
that's
people
enough
enough
of
with that
that.
crap.
Now, I've heard a lot of these Bigfoot calls, tracks and stuff, and most of them, to me, sound exactly like a pack of wolves in the woods.
From what you played, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could totally see that, you know, and not only it's that, or it's like a mix between
Or-
a gorilla and a wolf.
More likely,
Well, that's what they say
there's
is-
2 packs of people out there hunting for Bigfoot's calling at you.
Well, and that would be funny because there is the knocking that's reported. Like if you hit a tree, they'll supposedly knock and communicate. Now,
No,
great
okay.
apes do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now let me ask you, like, seriously, how often do you think that people have actually done that by accident? They've gone out there thinking that there's a Bigfoot,
Oh,
and there's
God.
another fucking party on the other side of the mountain, and they're calling to each other by accident, like making the knocking noises and shit, because they all know what the sounds are.
Well, like that one, I think is just some dudes out in the woods. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They started hearing weird sounds and recorded it. Now, if you're not used to being in the woods, you can hear things that sound like what they are. I think we talked about that too in the Bigfoot podcast.
The Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect. You're not gonna keep on the Mandela effect until we do an episode, so you can understand what the fuck that is.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up until I hit it the right thing.
So guys, if you have any information for us about Bigfoot, email us at Seth. What's the email?
It is Vanishing Gates with 2 G's at gmail.com.
Boom. See, he does listen. It does work. Some of that thought.
Subliminal messaging as much as possible.
We learned it from the Soviets, comrade. We didn't.
We did.
We might have.
We might have. A little bit.
A little bit.
Actually, I think that's where most propaganda actually really.
I think I actually learned it from Grandpa, considering his checkered past. So, Sal, we talked about Bigfoot a little bit. So, okay, we didn't come to any conclusions because we were kind of rambling and arguing. What?
What?
God. What's wrong with you, bro? You're not even drinking. Fuck. All right, so Bigfoot sounds. What do you think about aliens, man?
Aliens. Okay, so aliens, I am a firm believer that there are no such thing as aliens.
I know a couple that live next door.
Oh, God.
You know, and it just...
We're going to get letters.
I really don't know how far into the show that you guys allow, you know, religious beliefs, but, you know, because...
What do you want to talk about?
Because of my religious beliefs, you know, I don't believe that there are aliens.
See, and, you know, we both have similar beliefs there.
Right.
I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Right.
Because we do have some differences, but I kind of think that there could be life on another planet. I think that if they're real... Now, I have had a UFO encounter, and I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, but I'm gonna go into it here. We were driving, when I was a kid, we were going camping. And we went to a place where I had a lot of strange encounters. Cougar Reservoir area, by the Three Sisters Mountains in Oregon. And my dad took me and my brother camping. And we were driving along, and straight up there was 3 bright lights a bit above the car. And my first thought as a kid was, what the fuck is that? But without the F-bomb, because I was like 8 or 9. And
at least you didn't say
it traced with us, and it was moving pretty interesting. Even my dad pointed out, he goes, that's not a plane. And my dad is a military
What are the chances
guy.
of it being a helicopter?
Well, there was until all 3 lights split in completely different directions at a super fast speed. So it wasn't just the lights on the plane like you see now.
It's not like back.
Look, it was probably just weather balloons.
No,
And it's not like back in those days we had drones or anything like that, so you can't blame it on drones.
The military might have, but not that way.
Right.
And, I mean, this is a tight formation. It looked like a solid, like you would see the lights on a plane.
Right.
And a lot of people I've heard encounters with UFOs and video of it where it's the same fucking thing. I couldn't see, it was dark, so I couldn't see the outline of the thing. It was kind of high up. But I could see these really bright lights. And they weren't flashing, they were solid lights. Now on a plane, you're going to have flashing lights for the most part. You'll have some, but there was only 3 lights. And they were way up. I can't tell you how far. I didn't have a good point of reference. They were above the mountains, so that's a good point of reference. So they were fucking way up there. And my dad notices it as we're driving. And it was in front of us, like ahead of us, quite a ways. So we could see it moving, them moving. I think it was 3 different objects. Now, I don't know what it was. Like I said, UFO, unidentified flying object. I'm not saying a spaceship, flying saucer.
Absolutely.
I didn't see a cigar-shaped thing. It wasn't clouds and it wasn't ball lightning, because that's not how that shit works. Now, ball lightning does some crazy stuff, but I mean, these were firmly together for quite a long time. I mean,
I'm telling you.
I'm not talking a couple
Weather
minutes.
balloon.
I'm talking over a half hour we watched this.
Right.
Because we were driving from fucking Eugene to this area, and we were just watching it. And then it split in 3 different directions.
Right.
And I mean, gone. Vanishing fast.
Okay, so it's the special teleporting weather balloons that they don't tell us about.
You know, and so like, you know, when it comes to aliens, you know, I mean, as humans, you know, we have done the research, you know, like not us specifically, but there are people in the world that, you know, with NASA and everything else that they have.
Well, there are
they have really
UFOologists. That's what I should tell you
they've really explored, you know, the
Don't mock their hair.
They've really explored our galaxy, you know, and they know what's on. If we know the planets, we can see images of our planets. I mean, we pretty much have a really well idea of what is actually on these planets.
Look.
You know, and to think that and to see that we have been able to do as much research as we have, and with no evidence showing that within our own solar system there is no other life forms, to be able to create UFOs, to have the technology to be able to fly a spaceship within space, you know, kind of like how you see in Star Trek or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, to think that there's that inside of other galaxies, which there are probably millions of galaxies that we have no ideas about. You know, it just seems so far fetched that another life form that I don't. It's really hard to grasp my mind around. It really is because you have to travel galaxies. We can't even get a satellite to send images, throughout another galaxy.
Well, think about it. Every star you see is a sun for a solar system, and we can see the beginnings of other galaxies. We can see like the area outlining where the next galaxy starts out of the Milky Way.
You know my favorite.
But the thing is, think about this. We haven't even explored more than 7% of our own fucking ocean.
Right.
We are finding entire ecosystems that don't rely on the rest of the planet's ecosystems.
Absolutely.
They just decided that octopus, which the plural for octopus is octopus.
Octopi.
It's octopus.
Oh, it's octopus?
It's octopus. The plural for octopus is octopus. Wrap your head around that shit. Now, they just decided that octopus are completely alien to any other life form on Earth. They have some kind of strand in their DNA that nothing else in the world has. Mm-hmm. That's a really strange thought. Now I'm of the idea that that there's probably life out there. It's probably more similar, akin to us, where we don't quite have the technology to move up there yet.
There's a question I have for people that's kind of that's about outer space stuff like that. That's a question I have with the death of the galaxy, with the supernova, right? The planet basically, I believe it kind of collapses in on itself and then explodes outwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now my question is, when you take an oil fire or anything on like a stove or something, you smack a pan over it, the pan doesn't necessarily knock out all amounts of oxygen, and yet the fire goes out. So when a sun explodes, the moment its atmosphere is deteriorated around it, when this happens, that would be like dropping a pan on a fire, and it should in fact knock it out immediately, because there's no oxygen for that explosion to continue.
Well, there's no oxygen in space, according to science, so why do these suns even burn?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, not even just that. Well, it's based on their atmosphere, I believe.
The point is
they have different atmospheres and stuff, but the moment that thing starts to collapse, all the atmospheres are punctured and destroyed, which means that outer space starts to basically suck it out, so it should basically die before it even gets to explode. Right. So there should be no explosion. It should just basically destroy itself once that atmosphere collapses.
Well, there probably isn't no explosion, but it doesn't mean that we, as we see our stars, all those stars are apparently, majority of those stars are actually dead and gone. Like, they've already exploded, they've already died out, but because they're so far away, we still see the light because it hasn't traveled out.
Yeah, what is it, like 8 minutes for light to get to Earth?
One of these days, Orion's belt, as clearly as we can see it right now, we're not going to be able to see it when the light finally reaches to us. There will be no Orion's belt.
Well, since I'm going to be immortal.
Well, if we're still around.
No, absolutely. Not us personally, but there will come a time to where Orion's belt will not be able to see from Earth if Earth is still a planet.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that that situation I understand, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, there would be no light to escape, because once it started basically sucking inward,
that's what I'm saying,
the atmosphere would destroy and it would never explode, because all of that would be sucked in and dissipate.
I think that's the idea where black holes come from. Is when a sun supernovas, the energy is so intense that it comes down to a...
I understand, but there would be no supernova. Well, the moment it collapsed, its atmosphere would destroy, space would get in, suck out all the oxygen and all the fuel, so it would never explode. The fire would just
What I think
off.
is happening is, when a sun supernovas, it creates a black hole and sucks everything in, so there's no explosion. It's just a big... It just condenses everything around it and sucks it in.
I think so then I'm assuming that the way they explain this is mass expansion.
Look at the Hadron Collider. They're basically trying to make a black hole, I think, right?
Yeah.
That would be a very fucking stupid idea. So guys, stop it, Switzerland. I think it's in Switzerland.
It's got to be the Swiss.
The Hadron Collider. It's got to be the Swiss. Talk about neutrality.
It's like,
hashtag physics joke.
We're very neutral. We're trying to create something that'll destroy our galaxy. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I don't think I want to be compressed into whatever a black hole does to people. Now, that could bring to other things, too. What about interdimensional? Because, so let's do this, too. We mentioned the religion aspect.
Before anybody realizes... This is not a structured episode. This is just a fun episode. We have guests. We're just talking about things we find interesting.
Oh, there's structure. I'm very structured.
There are some things that'll be structured, but this is mostly going to just be... this is going to be us having fun with, conversation.
I don't think you need to explain that at fucking a half hour into the show. I think they figured that out by now.
Probably. More than likely.
We went from Bigfoot to fucking aliens, and now I'm going to bring the Pope into it.
Oh!
We talked about the religious aspect. The Pope straight up said, at this point in life, we're intelligent enough to realize that if aliens showed up, it wouldn't negate your religious beliefs. Now,
how is that possible?
Well, because
for me, so
a lot of UFOologists quote the thing in Ezekiel about the spinning wheel, the wheel in the sky.
Keep on turning?
Possibly. Yeah, okay, Journey. That was Journey, wasn't it?
I think so.
God, it wasn't Journey.
Boston, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Boston. Just because they have UFOs on all their album covers, or at least one. But they quote that, and they talk about that maybe angels are these alien. Well, and that would be too if you believe in angels and demons. Hypothetically, they would be alien as well.
Well, I
Because
mean,
even in the Bible, in
in a
Genesis, it
sense-
says that the sons of God, the angels, came down and took wives of men.
Well, anything other than human is considered an alien. So yes, I mean, angels and demons would be an alien life form because they're not us.
Well, I think
You know,
alien
but-
is anything from extraterrestrial being. Let's call it that. 'Cause
Okay.
That's that's the right terminology. I think is extraterrestrial, as in out of our atmosphere, our terrestrial, terra. What is the thing for
Terraforma?
terraforma? There we go. Which pretty much I think means dirty big ball in the sky. It's
It's amazing I pulled that right out of my ass. I don't even know if that's the right thing.
Did you use gloves?
No.
So guys, if you're
Disgusting.
gonna touch terraforma, keep in mind that Jack did not wash his hands before pulling it directly out of his ass. Oh God! Talk about a black hole. We're bad people.
We're going to hell or we're going to get letters.
Oh, we are going to get letters. And actually, we're going to get emails. So send your complaints and or stories about black holes or Uranus to vanishinggates@gmail.com.
With 2 G's.
With 2 G's. No strings. Unless it's a really nice Y, like the whale tail thing. We like that. Send us whale tail pictures. I just made Jack double-faced fun.
What the fuck is happening here?
I think this zombie beer is kicking in.
Oh my goodness. Hey, which by the way,
beer.
this beer is actually, for a red IPA, I'm not too fond of a red beer, but this is actually a really good beer. Nikasi really hit it out the park with this one.
I don't even
really
like
enjoyed it.
IPAs, and this is a freaking dank beer, man.
Yeah.
Nikasi Brewery out of Eugene, Oregon. Look it up. This is a 7% alcohol per volume beer.
It's really good. It's really good.
For an IPA, it has a lot of low IBUs. For those of you guys who don't know a lot about beer, it's individual bitterness units.
Exactly.
And I don't really like IBU beers, but this is fucking dank.
I'm still drinking an A&W, so I don't fucking know what to tell you.
You've been drinking that A&W for over half an hour.
You really had though. Like I actually don't think I've seen it move from the same point that we actually started this podcast.
I mean, it's not a 2 liter, but fuck all, bro. It's a 1 liter or 1 liter point something. No,
1 liter.
1 liter, 33.8 fluid ounces. Okay, so now we're talking about Jack's drink.
So that was a very big segue
It's a 1 quart. It's a dark brew.
from extraterrestrials to
No,
A&W.
guys, heads
we
up.
really covered the broad spectrum.
The reason that we've gone so far off the rails is because we really wanted jalapeno poppers. we took about a 40-minute break. And
Well deserved.
You might notice a cut somewhere in there.
Yeah, in my thought there, I try to hide it, but
Suddenly,
I don't know.
someone says, "Let's have jalapeno poppers," in the middle of the show, and we were thinking we probably don't need to include this.
hey, in my defense, I suggested that prior to the show, and they are fucking delicious.
So dank.
All right, so we're talking about aliens and Sasquatch. What do you think about ghosts, Seth?
Ghost. I'm a firm believer in ghost. I had some experiences, not to my knowledge, but from stories of family that have occurred with me present. It's one of those things where it's kind of out of your mind, and it's a lot to comprehend, and it really is a lot. But back when I was a kid, we lived in this house, and I guess overnights we would have our cabinet doors and things falling out of the cabinets and refrigerator doors being open, and people, my family would wake up to these things happening, and they would go through and close them, and then when they wake up in the morning, they're open again, and inside the same house, from what's been told to me, I actually used to wake up with full on handprint marks on my arms, and I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, so and these were full grown handprint marks, something that I couldn't do myself, and from what was told, we used to have we had the so-called Ghostbusters come on in and scope the place
like
out.
Paranormal investigators.
Exactly, and I really don't know the full extent from what actually was said. I mean, this was years ago, and but I'm a firm believer in it just because of actual actual things that have
I can
happened.
tell you exactly what happened in the first mistake that was made. You make the first mistake that everybody who has ghosts or poltergeist makes. You lived in a house.
So true.
What
So
about
true.
haunted
The
cemeteries? and
easiest way
woods?
to avoid these things is to not live in a house, but live in like a tent or something.
Right,
You'll be
like
fine.
underneath the bridge or
Wendigos
something like that.
and Bigfoot might come get you, but you're fucking safe from ghosts.
There you go with that word again. Why do you keep using that word? I don't think you know what it means.
What?
Wendigos.
Wendigo?
Wendigos.
It's kind of like,
Have you
I
heard about
think,
Wendigos?
I've never heard of them.
I think the rake and the Wendigo kind of cross paths a little bit sometimes.
I don't know if the rake and the Wendigo cross paths unless.
Have you ever seen that video of that fucking thing that what looks like a monkey in the sewers? That
Yeah,
looks like the rake kind of thing.
Yeah, the actual rake video. I kind of saw that. Yeah.
You know what's funny is our mother actually pointed out. She's like, that looks kind of like a monkey. She was pointing out. She's like, that looks kind of like a chimp from the zoo. And I thought about it. Looked at it, I'm like, holy crap, that looks like a chimp in the fucking sewage system.
That sounds like the devil monkeys.
I'm like, why the fuck is there a chimp? Like, because it looks like, if you look at it objectively, as like it's a monkey, it looks like a monkey. The way it moves, the way its arms are, it looks like a fucking monkey hunching in like a sewer system. I was like, why is there a monkey in the shit system? Fucking shit monkeys.
You've heard of ghosts in the machines. We got devil monkeys in the shitter
We got
now.
shit monkeys in the system.
Oh fuck. Can we regain this episode? All right. So do you have any more like ghost stories that you remember directly? Like anything that comes to mind?
No, not actual experiences. No, not really. I mean, there's been times where that you think that you've seen something or something's there, but you can blame it on fatigue. You can blame it on stress or something like that. But
we have stories where we work, and you kind of work in a warehouse situation, right?
Right.
Have you ever seen anything in your particular warehouse?
No,
Because
I
you don't
haven't.
work in the one we did. Yeah, well, that's shitty.
Oh, it's
Why aren't you being haunted, damn it?
you guys are listening to a podcast of just a bunch of drunk asses laughing.
That's the
He's
root
drinking beer. It's the beer of root.
He's high on sugar.
I'm farther along than they are. I'm drinking the root of the beer.
And he's kind of a cigar lightweight too. He's kind of floppy.
This Cuban is heavy, I will tell you what.
I don't think it's actually Cuban. I think it's just called Cubana.
A fluffy
Yeah.
It
flop.
might be a Cuban. I don't know.
It's probably Habano.
Fucking know.
Probably Grand Habano.
No, it's not a Grand Habano.
Sorry, I mean, it's just from Honduras or something like that, so it's just Habano.
Honduran. Okay.
It's probably
so-
Honduran, okay?
Oh
not even
man, we have fucking
This is just
Faded into
degenerated.
oblivion.
It truly did. It
With
truly did.
alcohol,
It
and
truly
the
did.
root
On that
beer,
break.
and the cigars.
The break really did. I think the break really
jalapeno
did.
poppers. All right, let's get back on track here. What do you think about the Loch Ness monster?
The Loch Ness monster.
This question again, I swear to God.
I really hope that that's something that is
Yes, sir.
completely true. Like, I really do.
When you threw up in the air about it, you don't know enough about it. To
No, I really
yeah.
don't know enough about it, but I really hope it's true. I mean, like you had mentioned before, we really don't know everything that's underneath our own waters with the oceans and everything else. And, I mean, to be able to think that inside of some lake far, far away from where we are, there's like this ultimate being down there that's just amazingly huge and awesome is really cool to think about. And just like the Bigfoot, you just kind of hope that it's real. You kind of hope that it's true. The myths, to see myths actually come to life, is pretty cool. I mean, not really too many times have you actually been able to have that happen.
We have just gone from paranormal investigation, paranormal talk to almost drunken history, but about the paranormal.
Alcohol's come into play.
We should just call it drunken paranormal radio.
I'm pretty sure we're going to dub this one Alcohol Comes
Talk
into Play.
about spirits.
Yes. Drunken spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one of my friends, he had a inside of his room. There was to be said that there was a bride, and she had died inside the house. And we know this to be true, that her and her husband lived there, and they had just gotten married. And the room that my friend was living in, she passed away inside that room, and he used to have a lot of things happen to him inside this room, and as friends coming over, we didn't really see anything or anything like that. But clothes would be moved around, or trinkets would be moved off the shelves, or things would be like thrown across the room or something like that.
Even in death, the bitch wouldn't stop nagging.
Exactly. I mean, women.
Now we're gonna have to do something like that.
No, it goes along the same.
No, keep going.
It keeps.
I was just hoping that was going to go in the vein of the Meta World Peace situation at the hotel. Well, there's a ghost woman in my hotel room, and you're sexually harassing. So there's a basketball player. What's his real name?
I believe it's Ron Artest. I believe Meta World Peace.
He calls himself Meta World Peace.
Oh my God!
Because Jesus balls. That's what we need in our world. More people to give themselves stupid fucking names. Now, keep in mind this guy's a multimillionaire, and I'm not. So
he's also successful in basketball and shit, and we're not. We're really, really not.
Yeah, no, not
we
even
can't even play darts half the time. So.
We can barely do a fucking paranormal podcast
without insulting women, other races.
That was you two motherfuckers.
Our own race and everybody else around us. So, the Pope.
But anyway, so the family that lived there, my friend and his family, they actually knew about the previous owners. And after things started happening, and they kept on happening, consistently, they actually themselves had called in some professionals to come on over, and they actually had actually concurred what the realty people have actually said, and so they actually had told them, like, hey, there's actually a woman in this room. She's actually very friendly. She's just trying to gain attention here. She just wants her presence to be known, and they actually went through and actually pretty much had told them almost to the T what the realty people had actually said about the previous owners.
That's kind of crazy.
And yeah, so I mean, I really think that there is something to be said about paranormal activity. Absolutely.
We had me and Jay were growing up, we used to live on a place downtown.
Not on a place. In a place.
We were not pigeons. You actually lived on the roof or what?
We were on the roof and we would go inside everyone. No, because we lived in this place. It was an old Victorian, and we had instances where.
My bedroom a lot. That was insane.
Did I ever tell you the time I actually? I remember. Did I ever tell you the time I was sitting in the living room, and I looked by because we lived in an old Victorian, so there's like this large fucking living room connected to the kitchen and dining room. Everything's connected. Well, you can't see the door because it's around the corner. Well, I used to see legs and stuff going towards the door. I think we all kind of saw that one.
I think you were playing Silent Hill.
No, I just saw I would just see basically the lower half of someone, and then I hated that because they would come from the bathroom, and the thing is I hated that bathroom.
With that clawfoot tub?
First off, there was a clawfoot tub, and then secondly, there was a giant window, a full-size window, right in front of the fucking toilet.
So, coming of age story, that clawfoot tub, I learned not to masturbate with a cloth.
God, here we go.
With a washcloth. That hurt. Man, coming of age. But in the back room of said apartment, because it was an old Victorian that was owned by a slumlord who is somehow still around, and the cockroaches were amazing. And if you guys ever had German cockroaches, you know that your life sucks because they're fucking horrible. Fucking terrible. And you will never be able to eat cereal without looking into the bowl ever again once you live with cockroaches. But the back room in this place, we lived in the upstairs unit because it was a house that was converted into apartments. And the upstairs unit towards the back was where my bedroom was, behind the bathroom. And I kept having this recurring dream of this guy hanging from the corner in the room. And then one night, that entire area, like a big circle of sheetrock, just fucking fell during the middle of the night during one of my dreams. Exactly where I was dreaming this guy was hanging from. And they just never fixed it. I had this open ceiling in my bedroom until we moved out.
Slumlords, the best persons ever.
This guy is such a piece of fucking shit. Talk about your fucking...
Then there was a door, at the end of the hallway that literally, there used to be a balcony, I think, but there was nothing there, and the door,
Well, it was a doorway that closed off, is what it was.
You could still open it.
I couldn't open it.
We used to open it.
No, we didn't open it.
Yeah, I opened it.
I think you're having a Mandela effect moment.
No, I opened it.
See, I know what that means, so I can use it.
Fuck you and your Mandela effect. Oh wait, that's my Mandela effect.
Now that house was really creepy though. There was always kind of weird things happening. You'd be taking a shower, and there would be, it was one of those clawfoot tubs with one of those rings from the shower head that
And
go all the way
it was
around.
literally in the middle of the room too. Like
Yeah,
it was
it's like
huge
off the
space.
wall in the bathroom.
It was like 6 feet into the center of the fucking room, and it's like it's just so creepy.
And there would be some ghosts that showed up and said, "Hey, use this wash rag to jerk off with." and then the next thing you know, your dick hurts for like 3 days.
What the fuck are you doing? We are not releasing this episode.
I was a kid, it was coming of age. I already said that, which I didn't do that day. It's awesome. Oh man!
This entire
And you
thing.
guys thought this was a paranormal podcast.
I really appreciate you guys bringing me on the show.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
This is probably the most offensive one we're gonna do. I've insulted women by accident or by not thinking, and
You have to
now
bring that
people
up.
get to learn that.
Why do you keep regurgitating your mistakes? People have forgot what my. That's why I talked about beating off into a wash rag. It's like, they might forget about your mistakes.
Oh, God.
You know, that wash rag might explain my historical ability to last for so
Okay,
long.
let's continue on here, shall we?
Oh man.
Oh,
Holy
jeez.
fuck. What do you think about McDonald's?
Hey, how about
We
the
might as
open
well just
A's,
get
huh?
sued.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, you heard about that? Did you hear
What?
about so I don't remember. I think it was McDonald's or Burger King. It's one of the two. But there was a news story that just came out saying this guy had admitted to jerking off into the secret sauce
That would be
for years.
Yeah, that'd be.
Nice.
For years. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, God, dude, like I can't even go to those places anymore.
And guys, we have now touched upon, Seth has brought us to our first true crime segment of the show.
Just so you know, if you're doing this, it is illegal.
So guys, here, so you have a good moral standard here. Either beat off into a washcloth, but don't beat off into the special sauce. If you work in a fast
Exactly.
food
Don't
place,
make
because-
this. Don't make the special sauce special.
Don't make it more special than it already is.
It's got enough special.
It's
you know, you
special
need
the
to
way
attach
it
your
is.
own.
It truly is.
This Big Mac is saltier. I don't know how it somehow got saltier.
Please tell me this was not one in our town.
All these flavors.
I don't think so. I really don't think
thank
so.
God.
I don't even really eat Big Macs anyways, so I mean, I know I'm in the
Unless
clear.
you're in a truck stop.
But
I haven't ate at a fast food place in literally a month now.
you
A
couldn't
month.
tell.
A month. I didn't get this body overnight.
It took some time.
I noticed that this last month you've had more self-esteem.
I've loathed myself less.
Oh my god, guys, we are so fucking off the charts on this one. Folks, I apologize. Please send your hate mail to Jack at Vanishing.
Fuck yeah!
That's the good thing about being a guest. You know, you really don't get held responsible for anything that you guys post.
You
up
can't
there.
be attached to it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
don't worry, we promise we won't dox you. Air quotes.
We might really put that on you. Fuck. I'm pretty sure this is going to be our worst episode yet, and alcohol was definitely a factor.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the factor. I think we just suck at this. So anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this one up because we're at almost the hour mark. We're close enough. And we've really lost total track.
Yeah, we know.
We're going to recollect and gather our thoughts and make sure we're not masturbating in a washcloth.
Why? Why would you say these things? What is wrong with you?
Get swole. Oh, man.
God.
All right, so thanks for listening. This is Vanishing Gates Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. My co-host,
I don't want to be associated.
Fat Old Man Logan.
This is Jack. This is definitely this is
And
Jack.
joining us, our guest.
Seth.
And thanks for listening, guys. And we'll catch you on the next episode if for some reason you're still subscribed.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Cue outro music.